Hi, everyone. I'm Shanice Harlins Kilgore, and Latasha Harlins was born January the 1st, 1976, and she passed March 16th, 1991. And we are from STL, East St. Louis, Illinois. Not Chicago, not Alabama. We from East St. Louis, Illinois.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up in South Central LA? You and Latasha, hanging out, having fun as kids and everything. What was it like back then?
If I can say it in one word, we had a ball. And it's not like today's society where kids are stuck in their iPads, their iPhone, and bingo, and it's not like that. It's like when we grew up, my grandmother let us be kids. She let us make our mistakes. She let us learn from our mistakes. Growing up with in LA, we started our life in East St. Louis, and that was fun too, if I can remember. But we left in East St. Louis like in 82. Me and my mom and my pops, we moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then from there we came to LA.
Okay.
So we grew up on we started off on 77th and Broadway, right across the street from the police department. We moved to 88th and Figueroa. We stayed there for a few years, and then we moved to 91st between Hoover and Figueroa, and that's where we stood for 25 years or so. So growing up in LA to me was dope because we knew what outside was. We had the ice cream trucks, we had the donut trucks, we had
I remember the donut trucks for 25 cents a donut. Yeah,
25 cents. You can jump on a bus, go from here to there for 25 cents, and Manchester Park had out in Sutton had a lot of recreation back then.
Right.
We track and field. I did the 100 relay. Latasha did the 2 and the 3, and then we played softball. She loved basketball.
Yeah.
So it was we had activities to keep us going.
Right.
As long as we was in before the street lights came on, we could go outside the next day, So we had the swimming pool, the tennis. We did everything possible when we was young.
Right.
Just not stay in the house,
Right. Y'all was always out and about and all.
Out and about, just roaming, not roaming the neighborhood, but just in the neighborhood, just having fun. We had a lot of friends back in the day, and we still are close friends with some of them to this day.
Okay.
So that's the most. It was a good childhood.
Right. So how would you describe Latasha?
I want to say she was this mother figure, right? She was so young, but she had this personality that one would crave. I was okay, it's like when her mother passed away, a piece of her mother was in her still.
Yeah.
And then, we grew up we was raised by our grandmother. Latasha would have this little humbling spirit about her, and she would help my grandmother cook or clean and make sure our house chores was done before our grandmother got home. She would help me with a lot of homework. She would help her sister. She would do her sister hair, Christina Akoff. She would do her hair. And she would support her brother at the park with the basketball terms because he loved basketball. He had literally hundreds of trophies from basketball to football to baseball. So he did every sport, and she was there as much as she could be there for him while doing her own sports and activities.
Right.
She was a very supportive person at the end of the day.
Wow.
And she was very family oriented. And I believe that if she would still be here, she would be an awesome lawyer. I know she would.
Yeah, she would change the world. You know what I mean? And not only change the world, but she would make a powerful impact on her community. She's still here today.
Definitely.
Man.
I was talking to one of my close friends that I used to work with at Metro, and we were just talking, and I was telling her about my plans for 2021, and she was like, "Yeah, I remember Latasha." And this is some people still come up to me and tell me stories about my cousin that I didn't even know. You know, she was like, "I remember your cousin used to walk me to 97th Elementary. She used to do my hair," and it just sent chills down my body that not only did she do my hair, she did her hair, her sister hair, and a couple of girls from the neighborhood hair too. So I know she had high confidence in herself, and she put that same confidence within me and a couple of other young girls that were our age. She was always positive, always had an optimistic attitude, and she was very upbeat. And you can just see her coming, you know what I'm saying? And she was just the life of the party, you know?
Right.
But she too early.
Yeah, too early. Too early. Man, at the age of 15 years old. I see there's a lot of people in the chat. Shout out to Sweet Pea, and shout out to the other few that's in the chat. And someone asked that what happened to Latasha Harlins 29 years ago, early Saturday morning, March 16th, 1991. Latasha Harlins was shot and killed over a bottle of orange juice. And this is what set the trend for the 92 LA riots. So if you ever hear about LA riots, remember Latasha Harlins. Also, Rodney King was beaten to death on March 3rd, 1991. Then, March 16th, 1991, Latasha Harlins was murdered by a store owner by the name of Soon Jadu. Again, her name was Soon Jadu, a Korean lady that owned a store. It was a family-owned mom and pop Korean business, and a lot of them had a lot of liquor stores out there at that time in the 90s. So now that you guys know, now that you viewers know and you listeners know who Latasha Harlin was, now y'all know. So we're going to dive into our narratives from myself and Shanice Harlins. Also, rest in peace to her mother, Denise Harlins. She was an advocate, and she was riding and dying for her niece to get the proper justice that she deserves. Till this day, 29 years later, there's still some injustice in our system. It's everywhere. What was your favorite memory moments with Latasha?
She was my savior. I used to get bullied a lot because I was so small, and I always had this heart problem. So my fondest memory of her, and I'm a big talker, so I talk a whole lot of smack. She would come and rescue me. She wouldn't let me fight. So she was like, I called her my savior because she would come and fight my battles for me.
Yeah.
Knowing that we would get home later that evening and she just started bombing on me, right? So she was my savior because she knew that I couldn't do certain things that I really wanted to do. Like I couldn't go in heavy in the sports. So I would just support her and my other little cousin. I would just be there for them because I couldn't, play sports a lot.
Yeah.
Or I was limited, shall I say. So my fondest memory of her is her hanging out with me. Let's say we was on 77th Street and we were younger, you get them big old 5-gallon buckets and we would play drums. Or we'll get our water hose and we would make mud pies and throw it on the wall. And she would make sure that I was included in some of the things that she was doing. She never left me out. And that's one humbling thing that I can say. She always included me in her daily activities. She had her group of friends and I had mine,
Right.
But at the end of the day, we will all come back together at night at home and we would still talk about our day, talk about what our future will be holding and what we're going to do. I wanted to be an obstetrician, gynecologist to deliver babies. And she I was going to be that. She pushed me to try and be that. She told me I was smart, I was beautiful, I was this. Well, like I said, I was bullied a lot.
Yeah.
So she made sure I had that self-esteem that I needed to go.
Mhm.
Um, and we talked about our future a whole lot, and that's one thing I do remember and I do miss about her humbleness,
Yeah.
her authoritative figure. That hey, we gonna do this,
Mhm.
and whatever she said goes.
Right. Did Latasha ever had like any nicknames for you?
My name always been T.
Uh,
That was my nickname. Everybody know me by T. Baby T, Lil T,
yeah.
Gizmo. But she called me T. So T T T T. And that was my name. Hers
Hmm.
was Tasha. Mine was T. T and Tasha.
Hmm.
Dynamic duo.
Oh man, like it's like Wonder Woman and Catwoman.
That's it. The dynamic duo. That was it. T and Tasha. You hear T, you hear Tasha. When I go to my grandmother and I'd go see my grandmother and do what she asked me to do or whatever, and we'll sit down and we'll be chit chatting. And she was like, huh, you going on 45 or 44, and we'll reminisce a little bit. And she'd be like, I remember when you and Tasha would be in the playpen. Mind you, I'm smaller than Tasha, right?
Yeah.
So we would be in a playpen and she would come up to me and be like, I remember when I was in a playpen and Natasha would get out the playpen and you would stay stuck in the playpen, and
Hmm.
but Tasha, she out the playpen roaming around, and then I'll start crying. So
Right.
here comes Tasha, she'll let the playpen down so that I can get out too and
Hmm.
play with her as well. So that's why I said she was always there to help me, even in our playpen moments. She'll let the
Right.
playpen down and I just get out and start running around the house too. Then my grandmother tell me that she'll pick me back up and put us back in the playpen. Natasha get out again, and then I get stuck in the playpen again, and she come saving me again. So it's
Interesting.
those memories that my grandmother, that we just laugh upon on.
Right. Right. What was Latasha's favorite color? What
Red, her color red. My grandmother's favorite color red. You red.
what type of music she liked to listen to? Like R&B from the rap and all that. What was her favorite music in that category?
I think Bev Biv DeVoe. I want to say Michael Bivins, because I was into Johnny Gill. I know that for sure. I
Okay.
was into Gill, so yeah, she was into Belle Biv DeVoe, and I would have her cracking up because I used to imitate Eddie Murphy. I used to laugh like Eddie Murphy and everything. Doing no more, but we used to crack up laughing. I'd be in the middle of the night. My grandmama tell us to be quiet, shut up, and I'll laugh like Eddie Murphy, all goofy. And, but yeah, just memories, right? Memories.
Man, that's interesting for her to. I was really curious about that. Like what type of music she liked and the things that she enjoyed doing when she was living here on Earth. And that's interesting to know because like the world doesn't know about these things. They just
Oh,
only know about
but
the bad side of what happened to Latasha and
used
everything.
to listen to Michael Jackson, Bill DeVoe, New Edition. I mean, whatever.
So, what was her favorite songs from Michael Jackson?
You taking me back far now.
Oh yeah, we diving back into time right now. Let's see. Right now, we're in the '90s moment. Right now, at this point, see, we got to dive in and give them a little piece of history
History.
about South Central LA. You know,
What did she like? What did we listen to?
like I know
Uh,
she listened to Thriller or Starting Something or
yeah.
the Bad album.
Yeah, she used to listen to Michael Jackson, and I can't tell you what song,
Yeah,
but she would love to do the choo 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 thing.
like the little
The
moonwalk and stuff like that. The
she
little
used to
robot dancing machine.
that.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
remember that.
dancing
Yeah,
machine.
yeah. She used to listen. We used to have fun back in the day. It wasn't no, it wasn't
Yeah,
no. It was just fun. It was just fun.
yeah.
I remember fun.
So tell me this. So y'all used to watch the Michael Jackson Moonwalker video a lot when y'all were kids too, huh?
Uh-huh. And I remember my grandmama got her a red skirt and a black bomber jacket or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought she was the shit, but you know, she, yeah, I remember that. Boy, memories.
Did you ever go to Brehart Middle School with her back in the day? From what I read in the research, that she was an honor roll student. Tell us about her experiences being in high school at Brehart Middle School. And before you do, you know what's so crazy? I used to live right over there on 92nd and Barron Cross, right in that area of that basketball area of
Of
Brehart
the
Middle School. Yeah, I
of
used
the
to,
of the backside of Bret Hart.
yeah, I used to live right over there. And man, this was like from 1994 all the way to the year 2001.
Wow. Yeah, we didn't have a washer and dryer. So on Vermont and 92nd is a wash house.
Yeah.
So we used to go to that wash house to wash our clothes. So yeah, we've been in the neighborhood for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Latasha was a very smart intellectual person. She always carried a 3.0 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
So she was very smart. So we went to Manchester Elementary, then we went to Bret Hart. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's when the Northridge earthquake happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember because I remember I got scared and I was on the playground and she came to find me and we sat together.
And this was like early in the morning at that time. This was like October of 1987. That's when it was the big, huge earthquake.
Yeah, and I remember her searching for me. I really remember her searching for me. We sat together, and I think our grandmother had to come and pick us up.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had to be released by our parents, so my grandmother was there to pick us up.
Mm-hmm.
But she wouldn't leave. She left her class
Mm-hmm.
to come and find me.
Wow.
And we were Tasha and T, the dynamic duo, right there.
That's right. That's right. Round of applause for that. Round of applause. Yeah. Round of applause. Hey, you won't believe who's in the chat right now. I'm about to call this person out in a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way. Let me hit the applause button right quick. I would like to give a shout out to Miss Sophia Allison here on Memphis Talk Radio.
The director of A Love Song for Latasha.
Yes. Now, to you viewers out there, y'all need to go on Netflix and check out A Love Song for Latasha. I've watched this movie 5 times, and it was a beautiful movie. It was well put together. The way the story was told, the elements in the film was very phenomenal. Miss Sophia Allison, shout out to you. Again, round of applause. Round of applause. I mean, I'm going to be 100, and I'm going to say this on the record. The way you show those elements in the film took me back in them days of growing up in South Central Los Angeles, California. Here they go, clear as day, right there. Hand clap. And there you see is Miss Sophia Allison, the director of A Love Song for Latasha. Yeah, I was told that it's like damn near on the top 10 right now on Netflix. So let's give a round of applause for that. Y'all did that. Y'all did y'all thing. Most definitely. Y'all did that. And now we're going to switch back to Miss Denise Harlins. But yeah, thank you for tuning in on this chat. Man, y'all share the video. Share the video. Share this. Get your likes up on this. But I'm going to show this to y'all again. A Love Song for Latasha on Netflix. So if y'all haven't seen it, y'all better check it out. Okay, so let's go back to you, Miss Shanice. This was really important to show this on YouTube because, man, it's like with the technology right now, I bet if Latasha was alive right now, you know what I mean, I know she would have been aware of the technology, but not as much. You know what I'm saying? Because I know she loved to be out and about and have fun and enjoy her life and all. Let's dive into the nitty gritty, man. Let's do this. Doing this research and all, and really learning about Latasha Harlins. Oh man, a lot of people have left out a lot of stuff. They
Whole
told
lot.
the story, but they didn't tell the story completely. They didn't tell the story about the ins and outs and all. And we're going to get to the bottom of it right here. We're going to reveal everything. So we definitely want to get your take, your narrative from your point of view. So we want to get your story. At that time, where were you when you found out what happened to Latasha on Saturday, March 16, 1991?
We were all at home. Me, Christina, Vester, my mom. We were all on 91st. We were all home. So when it happened, we was all at home at that point. It happened early in the morning, but I do remember, like I said, Vester was into sports. He was into sports. I want to say he probably had a basketball tournament or something. So he left and went to the gym at Algin Sutton Rec Center. So he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
When we found out about it, I ran out the house. I remember she got killed in the morning hours.
Yeah.
They didn't know who she was. They took a picture of her and they went door to door. Back in the day, 91st used to be an all 100% black neighborhood.
Yes.
And everybody knew everybody on that street. I knew Mr. Orange, the twins, everybody knew everybody, Janine, and everybody knew everybody. Everybody knew their parents because everybody played with everybody,
Right.
And the detectives went door to door and they directed them to my grandmother's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my grandmother was cooking breakfast and she asked me to go get some orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because Tasha wasn't at home, but she stopped at the store to get some juice. I'm sure it was a small bottle just for herself, but it's crazy because my grandmother worked Monday through Friday with the Department of Social Services.
Mm-hmm.
So on weekends, my grandmother would get us up. We got to wash our face and brush our teeth and throw on some, play clothes. And she would literally get up and cook us breakfast.
Yeah.
So I remember her cooking breakfast and my mother made us clean up, but Trell left. Tasha wasn't there. So me and Christina was there.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandmother asked me to go get some juice and it was too early. I didn't want to go get no juice. I do remember that. And so when the detectives did get there in the later part in the morning hours, and told us, I just ran out the house. You couldn't stop me. I ran out the house. I didn't even stay for the reaction of my grandmother, my mother, and Christina.
Right.
I just ran out the house and I remember falling to the ground and boo-hoo crying. Then I remember the detectives leaving and now I went to go check on my grandmother. She told me to go run and get Trail. So I ran and got Trail at the park. He was playing basketball because he was in the gym. And I must have been terrified or I must have scared him because he was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, she gone. She dead. They shot her. He was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Tasha, they killed her." He said, "What?" We ran out the side door. And back in the day, we had a softball field, a big old softball field. But it wasn't no gates back in the day, just them little tall gates behind the baseball court, the baseball thing. And we could run straight through the field. If you run straight through the field, we on 90. We can jump a house, and we right on 91st. But we ran straight through the field, back home, and that's when everybody started coming. Everybody. That's when all
was at that grocery store.
All hell broke loose. I can remember that like yesterday. Even though it was 29 and a half years, I remember that. All hell broke loose. I never seen my grandmother cry so hard because she died in 91 and her mother just got killed in 85. So, and it's crazy because her mother got killed on Thanksgiving Day in 85. To lose her granddaughter, 6 years later, I'm sure it was at the bottom of her stomach.
How did your mom felt about that when she found out about what happened to Latasha?
I don't even think my mother had words. My mom was very young. Remember that. My mom had at 13.
Yeah.
So my mom was probably stepping on 30, maybe. She was in her late 20s, early 30s. She had to be around there. So she sprung into action. She became an activist. She knew she was finna get some rammed up about something. She knew. She didn't have no clue because she's still young.
Yeah.
My mom was only in her late 20s, I want to say.
Miss Denise Harlins.
Rest in peace. She knew she had to be strong for my grandmother. I couldn't be strong because my best friend just left me. My ace, the Tasha part of she just left me.
Right.
The dynamic duo is not dynamic no more.
Right.
Without Tasha, there's no team. So I couldn't be strong for everybody. I was only I was still 14. I didn't turn 15 until May.
Yeah.
So we only 4 months apart. So I couldn't be strong. But I knew my mom had to be strong for my grandmother because she still was weak from losing her daughter. Because I remember everybody have a way of grieving.
Right.
And my grandmother grieved different. She took pictures down of my auntie and just put them up. When she was ready to see her daughter again, she put the pictures up.
Right.
And that's the same thing with Latasha. She took the pictures down. She grieved in a different way.
Right.
Now she's able to put up a picture or two of Latasha because it's almost been 30 years.
Right.
So she grieved different. I remember her sitting on the couch, rocking and just crying. And my grandmother is saved, sanctified, and filled with the Spirit. So she cast all her cares on God. I don't think she knew what to do then either.
It's like when you get that call, finding out a situation like this, it's like you don't really know what to think in that moment.
Nope.
And sometimes you can just black out because you still can't believe it.
Nope, you can't process it. People don't know how to process. You got to take your time. And my mama be gone 2 years in December the 25th, on December the 25th. And I still grieve. I still cry. I still write to her. I still wake up. I still remember her vividly in my mind and telling me, going off on me for something crazy or me cursing too much. I'm still in that grieving process.
Right.
I think of Latasha, I think I'm not so much into the grieving part. I'm more of taking action now.
Right.
I'm more of, okay, now I have to step up and finish what my mama started.
Right.
And it's a huge responsibility, but at the same time, we coming up on 30 years, and March the 16th, it'll be 30 years. And I just want people to say her name. I want people to remember her name and know that in today's society, your life can be less than $1.79.
Right.
Because of the color of our skin. And we already stereotype like crazy. So when we walk in the store, of course they're going to look us up and down, even though we can have a pocket full of money.
Right.
That's never going to leave us.
Yeah.
It's just the color of our skin. My cousin's life was worth $1.79. That's it. That's all.
My biggest condolences goes out to you and your family and your friends and the loved ones, man, in a real way. And rest in peace to Denise Harlins and Latasha Harlins. I know in that moment that a lot of people were lost for words at that time. And it's a good thing that now that you're carrying on for Latasha and for your mother, because that's, sad. Like every Christmas, it's like you would think about those moments. And not only thinking about those moments, but you're thinking about the moments of Latasha as well. The fact of the matter is that you got everybody from all over the world that got your back. And that's a fact. Think about it. In this moment, if it was a black on black crime, or if it was a black owner took Latasha's life, they would have got jail time. No question about it.
No question, no doubt. No doubt. They would have got jail time. And even though the Koreans haven't killed another person, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. You hear more of police brutality and police killing,
Right.
killing us off one by one. I don't know if they learned their lesson or not, but what the Korean community need to do or start doing is supporting where they want their liquor store at.
Yeah.
So if you want to, to me, if you want to come in my community and open up this liquor store that's just got to have liquor or whatever, and you here for a profit, what are you going to do to put back in this community since you in this community? You just can't take our money.
Right.
Give back, donate to a local organization, do something to give back to the community. Just to come in, they popping up everywhere. Beauty supply stores, they own all the beauty supply stores, liquor stores, or whatever else they can open.
Yeah.
Chinese foods, whatever they can open. But we putting money in their pockets.
Yeah.
But what are they doing for us in our pockets?
Facts. Facts.
Come on now.
Facts. Facts.
So if we stop supporting them and they see their money fluctuate going down, they gonna start, hey, what can we do? Like the Slauson Supermall.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing but Koreans in there, or whoever Asian, ain't nothing but them in there.
Yeah.
But all you see is this color shopping with them. When they stereotyping you, when they calling you out your name, when they don't respect you, can't even look in your eye, when they taking your money, I don't support the Slauson Supermall.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna set foot up in there. I go to black-owned beauty supply stores now. I have one in Riverside I go to that I grew up with Donna and her sister Vicky. They own a beauty supply store in Riverside. Or if I'm in LA, I'll stop on Manchester and Western, and it's a beauty supply store across the street from the gas station that's black-owned. There's a black-owned.
I know what you're talking about. But go ahead.
It's a black-owned beauty supply store on Crenshaw, like 115. There's the same one on Manchester and Western. It's owned by the same one off of Crenshaw. So I tend to go out of my way to support my people. I don't care. I will pay a couple of extra dollars. Just give me the great customer service, ask me how my day going, and say thank you and come again.
Right.
So sometimes I refuse to walk in an Asian store, and I don't mean to sound racist, or I just don't want to be stereotyped.
No, you're not. And it's not that, and you're right about that, because it's not like, you being racist or anything like that. It's just, if you go into like any community that's not urban, you get stereotyped. And I'm not saying that all ethnicities are like that, but you see like 75% of them are like that. No question about it.
No question about it. And once we get stereotyped, guess what? We're going right back into that store.
Yeah.
And they go, once they start seeing you coming in often, maybe they'll wave.
Then they be cool with you.
I ain't never seen an Asian smile at me.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but I ain't never seen them smile at me.
Yeah.
So I'm not finna go walk in a store where I'm barely wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a couple of dollars cheaper than that. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. Man.
I love my community. Really, I do. Because in community, there's no community, people, without unity.
Right.
And that's what they need to do. That's what people need to do. I understand they want to support the community, but everything in the community ain't all for us.
Right.
It's not for us all the time.
No. Going back down memory lane as you speak on this, I remember walking into the store, man, and I get followed all over the place just because I'm just trying to buy something. Everywhere you look, you see them right there.
Right there,
So,
acting like the shelves or facing the store or
right.
doing this, walking around with with their hands behind their back. They looking right at you.
Yeah.
They don't trust us.
Nah. Nah. And it's even got worse now. I mean,
No, yes, it has gotten worse, but they also got smart.
mm.
Guess who they putting at the front window? Guess who finna check you out?
Oh yeah, they always hire somebody that don't look like them.
Come on now, they gonna hire.
And now you notice when you used to see them, they still own these businesses. And no offense, but they always put a minority face right in front. And we're not talking about black minority. We're talking about another part of minority,
Yes,
Hispanics. They put the
yes,
Hispanics on the front line. And they cool as hell too. They cool with the community and all the people because they know that the attentions is really high on them because of the history of what happened to Latasha Harlins.
come on now, they got smart. They
They
got
all
smart.
aware of it. They trust me. They know that story very well. Trust me.
They know the story. That's why they put that minority up at the cash register. But guess where they at? They in the back looking at the camera.
Yeah.
They looking at the camera.
Mm-hmm. And I gotta tell it like it is because it's like, in the area where we at, they were all Korean based here. But
Yes.
slowly for surely, they're now just deteriorating right now. They still exist, but they have others that run their businesses now. If you go
Yep.
to downtown LA and you go to the fashion district, you see the same thing because back then all the Koreans ran Chinatown and all of them ran downtown LA.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get all the good deals
Deal.
on
Mm-hmm.
outfits and all that stuff like that in downtown LA.
Yep.
And everybody from worldwide when they come down here and they hear about downtown LA, the fashion district, the alley and all that.
Yep.
That's where they go shop. If they want to buy fabric, all that. See, back in the
Everything.
90s, you seen a lot of them out there. Now you don't see them no more. But they still run those businesses. They still own them.
They
Family
smart.
owned. Mom
Yep.
and pop family owned.
They smart.
And they got their reparations. Hello.
Yep. Yep.
And they always say they don't want no trouble. And we have seen this in that movie called Do the Right Thing. You
Mm.
remember that movie,
Mm.
and you seen Menace to Society.
Mm.
You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I say we're gonna take it old school. That we
Yep.
seen these same related situations right in front of our face. Now, moving forward, I just wanted to dive into the history of where we grew up at South Central Los Angeles. We had to take it there. Let's talk about this court trial.
Woo-hoo.
Let's talk about it. Hold up. I got to put my theme on here. Yeah. Tell us your story about it if you can remember as much as you can. Because I know you was a kid at the time when this happened.
Yep.
But for what you can remember, it's the best way you can possible. Tell us the whole story about how this trial came about.
I remember protesting with my mom. I remember screaming, no justice, no peace. I remember every single day going to the courthouse, standing in front of the courthouse with the Latasha Harlins Justice Committee. The nation is our bodyguards. I was allowed on at certain times,
Mhm.
because I still had school. So I was allowed at certain times, but majority of the time I was there right by my mama's side.
Mhm.
The verdict came in, and I remember, my grandmother damn nearly fainted. My mama was screaming. My uncle, he got so dang on mad, he pushed news cameras out the way.
Yeah, I seen that footage too.
Woo!
I seen that footage.
He was pissed. So it was I think it was the most tragic part when they gave the sentence of 10 years, 5 years this and 5 years. probation and no jail time, basically. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is that the jury convicted her.
Yes,
It was
original.
the judge. It was the judge that felt that she wasn't a threat to society. And a lot of people don't know the transcripts of the courtroom on what happened and what was said. And people only read about what happened in the newspaper or a book they may have read or Googled it. But the transcripts of the courts, it's all of these papers. And I stopped reading it because I'm like, wow, I never knew. Like, okay, so she was supposed to pay restitution fine. Her mom said she ain't never paid that. She had to pay for Latasha's funeral. She ain't ever paid that. So she got away with a lot. Soon as you got away with a lot. I don't even think she completed her 400 hours of community service at all. Basically, she been out the limelight for a whole 30 years.
30 years later. So let me get this straight. Now, she was given probation.
Probation.
When the jurors wanted to give her jail time for murder.
Yep.
For murder.
Yeah. Yep.
But instead, the judge wants to rule it in her favor.
Her favor.
In a loophole twist. Pulling up all these penal codes and all this crap.
Yep. So she overturned what the jury, what the psychologist, what the DA had agreed to. So what was the point of going to trial? What was the point of having a jury? What was the point?
Right.
What was the point?
And the facts were clear.
The facts was right there. And if people don't know that, people don't know or read or take the time to read court documentation because they want off a hearsay.
Right.
They don't know that gun was rigged. They don't know they don't know that
the gun was stolen at first and it was returned back to the owner.
A year later. A year later, the gun was turned back, and a year after that, she shot the gun. Now, the husband said he never used it, so he never taught his wife how to use it. But she knew how to pick up that dang old gun and shoot it.
And she shot the gun twice. It was one shot that hit Latasha, and then she did a second shot again. Yeah.
When her husband came back, when her husband seen what she did, the woman wanted to faint and act like something was wrong with her. First you accused my cousin of stealing. She died with $2 in her hand, and now you want to play victim.
Narcissist.
Come on now. You can't play victim after you done killed somebody. You done grabbed her by her shirt, so you already done violated her. Because if you touch me, I'm swinging.
Exactly.
You don't have the permission to touch me. So I would do what my cousin did. I would swing.
Right.
When my cousin swung on her, first she threw the stool at my cousin.
What? See, we didn't know that part about the stool.
She threw the stool. So then my cousin came back and hit her, fixed her jacket, and gave her the freaking orange juice. When she gave her the orange juice, she should have let my cousin go.
Right.
Instead, my cousin said, she probably like, you know what? I'm out. You can tell by her body language.
Yeah.
She picked up her bag and left and tried to leave. Then you reach your bum ass down and get the gun and shot her? After she leaves? How does that happen? Now, she didn't steal. She had the $2 in her hand. You grabbed her first. You threw a stool at her. And you got the nerve to play victim?
Man.
So all the limelight is, over a bottle of juice?
A bottle of orange juice.
Orange juice? You could have easily said, do not come back to my store no more.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. Then you try to go back to Korea?
And lay low out there.
Like you just been shot. You've been laying low for 30 years.
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is that in the transcripts, it's like she lied and said that she asked Latasha for the juice, and she was like, what orange juice? And I'm like, damn, why did y'all lie about it? Why did y'all lie?
They lied because they didn't want the truth to come out. That's why. They lied. They didn't want the truth to come out. So I know they had 2 stores.
Mm-hmm.
And the son was sleeping in the car, it says, and he
Yeah.
came in. And my thing is, if you don't feel safe in the community, why your ass in our community? Don't come over here saying you feel unsafe and you want to take our money.
Yeah.
This is our community. Like Pete's supermarket on 92nd and Hoover was black owned. He got old, so he retired. And then here comes some more Asians. Here comes some more Koreans. Now, Pete was cool. I remember back in the day, Pete, he was African American. He used to be for the community. When I say for the community, I remember my mama writing on a little note talking about, Mr. Pete, can you please send me a pack of cigarettes and I'll pay you Friday?
Right.
My mama too, can you please send us some bread, whatever. The note said, Mr. Pete was cool enough to do it. And you knew not to burn Mr. Pete because he won't give you a second chance. So I remember my mama used to get paid and she would give me the money and I'd take it right up to Mr. Pete.
Right.
But he knew that sometimes people fall on hard times. And he would open up his store, and my mama used to write a letter, and he used to give her what she wanted on that letter. And he'll write a total in. And my mama, we'll go back up there and pay her when my mama got her little check. That's the type of stuff I remember in the community.
Yeah.
And then he closed, and then here goes some more Asians, some more Koreans. You know what they did was put bulletproof glass all right.
Yep, and to this day, if you go to them stores out in South Central LA, like between Manchester all the way down to like Imperial.
Irene Liquor. We used to walk in the store, they used to call us by name. And we never took from Irene Liquor because they respected us.
Right.
They call us by name. Then all of a sudden, they got put plexiglass too, and they hired the Latinos.
Yeah, they brought the Latino community up in there to run them joints.
Yep.
It's crazy how you see this, and man, and it's funny that it still goes on to this day.
To this day, we ain't got nowhere. Sometimes you feel like Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott, and Malcolm X, they fought for nothing. I mean, they fought for something, but at the same time, it's like, why waste their time? Like, you know, police brutality is at the #1 high right now.
Super. And the crazy part about it, how we can never forget, March 13th, Breonna Taylor murdered by the police.
Come on now.
We working on a documentary right now as we speak, and it's almost finished, coming soon. I mean, we gonna be raw and uncut with this one, because it's like, I mean, we talking about like Trayvon Martin. You know what I'm saying? Facts was clear. Zimmerman got off. And then here it is, these officers it's like they're not being charged for murdering Breonna Taylor, but they only want to charge one officer because the bullets flew in someone else's apartment with a woman that was pregnant. It's like, really? Like, yeah, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah. That's crazy. He got charged for shooting. The wall got more justice than Breonna Taylor.
And whoever lived next door because they was pregnant got justice than Breonna Taylor.
But not Breonna Taylor. So it's going to continue. Us black people have to stand up and stand proud and stand what we believe in.
That's right.
You know, that's what we have to do.
I know that's right. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And so let's dive into this here, because from what I read about these transcripts and all with Latasha, the whole aftermath, Soon didn't get no jail time. But the question I want to ask, like, did you guys file a civil lawsuit after it was said and done? After it was said and done,
yes, we did file a lawsuit. It wasn't much. It wasn't much. It's not like it was a few $100,000 for Christina and Vester. You know, they got money until they got like 18, and then they got 21, and then after 21, that was it. So it was pennies on a dollar. Her life still wasn't enough to help her and her sister and brother live on, you know? So they still have to push Fortunately, we have a strong grandmother that pushed education on us, that made sure that education was number one. If you wasn't going to school, you have to go get a job and work. I remember I didn't want to go to college, so I got a job.
Mhm.
And she was like, well, $250 a month. I'm like, $250 a month?
Damn.
So I went back to school, you know? I went back to school and got my little AA degree. Christina, she took it all away. She took it all away. My grandmama pressed us. School, school, school. She still presses.
Right.
So
To this
Christina
day.
got her doctorate degree, Dr. Christina Acoff. Can't be no more proud than that, you know. Vester own his own maintenance building. Own maintenance company. He's the manager of a few apartment buildings. So it's not like, you know, we're not doing bad, but we cool. And it's not off of the money from Soon Jadu or none of that. You know what I mean? Because that money came and went. It was, like I said, it was only a couple of $100,000. So it ain't enough for Christina to go get her doctorate degree.
Right.
Or Vester to start his maintenance career. It's not like that. So we worked hard for what we have right now. All due to my grandmother and the Lord above.
I know that's right. Because, like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, we're the family rich and all this because of Latasha. And it's not even like that. It's like y'all just normal people.
We normal people.
Normal
people. Struggled. We had them bologna days. We had those noodleroni days, them cup of noodle days, them hot dog days. We had all. Come on,
I remember them days. I remember them noodles and them hot dogs and burritos. Days. Yeah.
Well, we had all them days. We struggled. My grandmama struggled. So right now, you know, she's 78 years old, and she don't want for nothing because she got us.
Mm-hmm.
She don't drive. Right. We take her everywhere she go.
I know that's right.
We made sure she good. She made sure we good. So we making sure Ruth Harlin's good. That's good.
Right. That's right. Big ups to grandmas, for real. Big ups to grandmama. In a real way.
In a real way. She number one right now in our lives, and we make sure she good. So she cool. And it's not off the money from whatever Soon Jadu did. No, it ain't off of that. My grandma worked for the Department of County of Social Services for over 25 plus years. Wow. She a hard-working woman.
Big ups to her for that. Even for your family, man, big ups. Because it's like y'all still pushing no matter what. Y'all still pushing. And when it boils down to commemorating Latasha and commemorating your mother, Denise Harlins, that's a beautiful thing. I give you a round of applause for you and your family for staying strong.
We got to keep it going.
Right. Man, because, I mean, the struggle is real, and it's too real.
Too real.
And it's getting worse because we live in a new age right now to where it's like our culture is misguided in certain ways. There's a lot of trials and errors, you know, with what's going on with politics and, you know, with what's going on with people losing their lives from like police brutality, racism, discrimination. It's like out in the open and it's just like blatant. All we can do is pray to the Most High and know that we still have long ways to go. When Obama was in office, I had never seen that many police brutalities since Rodney King in 1991. It's still ongoing right now.
It's going to continue to go. Unfortunately, to me, racism right now is at its all-time high. It's sad that we fought through slavery for our rights. We fought through the 60s, the 70s, and here we are in 2020, and people still stereotype us for our skin color.
Right.
It's sad, you know? That part.
Bottom line.
Bottom line, because if I cut you, you cut me, we still bleeding red.
Mm-hmm.
So
our blood is the same color.
Same color. Flesh is this flesh is the same color, white. Come on now.
Right.
People.
How will you honor Latasha's memory?
In 2021, and what are we going to do for Latasha? We are doing it big, people. watch out, stay tuned. We have a few things up our sleeves. Algin Sutton Park, the playground area will be dedicated to Latasha Harlins. Thanks to the councilman of the 8th District, Najee Ali. I asked if I can, or we can, the community can honor her in a big way. The icon of the community is Latasha Harlins right now, and they agreed to name the playground after Latasha Harlins, so we call it Harlins Playground.
Okay.
I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about the things that I have planned for next year to bring our community back together.
Yeah.
Right now, me and one of my best friends are starting a nonprofit organization called Top Images in the memory of Latasha Harlins. We're going to redo the Latasha Harlins Scholarship Fund, and her sister is going to be the founder of that.
Okay.
So it's a lot coming. The community event will be held March the 16th, 2021 at the park. We're going to take it all the way back to Empire Market.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to march from Empire Market. We're going to say a city prayer by Isaac Reed, and we're going to stop where we used to live.
Okay.
And we're going to continue to march to the park, and we're going to commemorate her that way. So we're going to have a walk. We're going to have a little march. We're going to walk all the way from the store to the park. We're going to do a red ribbon cutting ceremony. And from there, I'm going to open up. We're going to have hopefully jumpers, face painting, food, and just a whole community event.
You should make like some tall images.
We're going to do everything.
Yeah, that's what Sophia Allison mentioned, tall images.
People
can take pictures with Latasha and all. Man, please keep me posted on that, most definitely. I love to be a part of that, to capture the moments. And our younger generation needs to remember and know who Latasha Harlins.
Definitely. We're going to remember her in a special way. So, stay tuned, like I said, and we're going to remember her in a special way. Taking it to the top, and I'm not going to stop.
I know that's right. Round of applause for that. No, that's right. Non-stop. Yeah, and like I said, a lot of content creators got to come together and make a lot of films commemorating Latasha Harlins. The real story. Not the stuff that you read in the papers, because 98% that you read on the internet is not actual facts. We're very grateful to have you here on this show to tell your story from your point of view, what really went down. For generations to come, keep it going non-stop. For your kids, keep it going for many generations.
We have to educate our youth. They can be so ignorant to what had happened because they so wrapped up in the moment. They wrapped up in the moment when history lies before them. And I believe once we educate enough of our brothers and sisters, they can teach their kids. We got to break this generational curse. We have to do something. We have to save our youth. We have to save our men.
Right.
Our men are in danger.
Yeah.
Not because of the color of their skin, because we are some talented creatures.
Yes.
And 9 out of 10 brothers, if they dig deep within them, they got something creative to pull out of them. They just have to take the time to find themselves.
Right.
And I don't care if it's art. I don't care if it's singing, dancing. A lot of dudes want to be rappers. No, you got something else in you that can put you right on top. We need more young activists out here. We need more voices. We need to stop being selfish and help one another. We need the unity back in community, period, point blank.
That's right.
And once we find that, we're going to take it to the top. We're going to take it to the top.
Right.
That's why they don't want to see us.
Yeah, because there's so many Black leaders that are stepping up to the plate and they wind up getting knocked off. You know what happened to Nipsey Hussle. Us black men that's trying to rise from it all and try to teach the next generation to come, they don't want us to do that.
They're going to knock you off. Like, what's his name? Dr. Sadie. You know, he had the
Yeah.
cure.
Yeah.
He had the cure. Next thing you know, he dead. You know, it's just, man.
Yeah. You mentioned Dr. Sadie. Man, I'm still waiting on Nick Cannon to come out with that Dr. Sadie documentary. I mean, that movie was supposed to be out like March 25th.
They don't want to hear about him because he's so much truth in Dr. Sadie. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear nothing that great black people have going on. They don't want to hear about it. Period. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to see us. We invented this world. We invented so much.
We built this.
Come on now, we
country.
built it.
Our ancestors built this country. This is why Ice Cube fighting for reparations and all that. Have you heard about that? When he was like, "What's in it for us?"
Yeah, come on. You got Killer Mike out there singing loud. You got T.I. out there singing loud. We need more voices. Don't just say, "Oh, we want to do this." Put your foot out and lead the way. Lead the young people.
Right.
And I applaud them for standing on the stage, talking about this, talking about that, talking about reparation, talking about police brutality. Let's bring this all forward.
Exactly. Round of applause for that.
Yes.
Round of applause for that. That's facts right there.
And we got to do it in a respectable way, so we don't have to be violent in doing it. We can be smart, educated, drop knowledge. We can come and kill them with kindness. Yep. They still gonna kick us and knock us down.
Kill them with this, with intelligence. You won't believe who's in the chat right now. You won't believe who's in the chat. I gotta give a round of applause to Miss Focus 941. Now, a lot of people don't know who Miss Focus 941 is. That's Miss Tybee. How you doing out there? Let's give you a round of applause. Girl, I've been looking for you. I've been wanting to interview you as well.
The founder of Tall Images.
Man, the best friend of Miss Latasha Harlins. Let's give her a round of applause. She's in the chat as well, too. Round of applause. Miss Tybee. That's Latasha Harlins' best friend. We seen the video. And that video that you made of that poem, oh my God, that was a beautiful piece right there that you put together. Man, big ups to you. Let's give you another round of applause here. Man, she up in the building, in the chat.
What's up, guys?
Up in the chats.
In the chat, Christina Acoff.
Man, she don't even have no social media. I'm like, man, I'm looking like, damn, I can't even find her.
It's Miss Hybrid.
Miss Hybrid? Okay.
She's not a real social media activist, shall I say?
I can tell. Hey, look. Miss Tybee, with your permission, can I play that video clip from your YouTube channel? Let me know. And I'll definitely play that video at the very end of this show. We definitely want to embrace it here on Ethic Talk Radio. That's Ty right there. She was in the documentary film as well, too. A love song for Latasha.
Right.
That was well put together. I'm going to watch that again tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, that was a beautiful piece of work right there. Beautiful piece of work, man. Big ups to Sophia. I know you out there in the chat. Big ups to you. I mean, you did a good job with that.
Awesome.
Did a great job. Awesome. But, man, most definitely. What do you wish that you would have said to Latasha before she died? What would have been your words?
We always had these inspirational conversations where we would be, you know, and she always used to push me, and we would cry together. And when she would push me, I'm the more of the emotional creature, and she was too, but I'm the one that's just can cry real easily, you know. I would tell her that we're going to take it to the top nonstop. It's about me and her. The world is ours. We want to go get that. And back then we didn't know what a bag was, but now I know what the bag is. And I'm gonna take it to the top, not just for myself and my family, my husband. I'm gonna take it to the top for everybody. I'm gonna make her proud. I'm gonna make my family proud. I'm gonna make my mama proud. I didn't want to step into my mama's shoes because they some big shoes to fill. I didn't want to be all political because I'm not a political person. But I feel that it's my duty, my job, 30 years later to stand up and stand out. And I'm not going to be an activist. I don't want to be an activist. I don't want to be a political person because I don't think I have it within me, but I will get my word across.
There you go.
I will want more unity in my community. I want to teach the youth that we don't have to be like they see us. We can be better than them. We can be smarter than them. And instead of shopping with them, let's own our own. Let's support each other. We can do this as long as we got each other back.
Right.
And so I would tell my cousin that, man, we're going to take it to the top. And it's no stop signs. Non-stop. We on flight 101. Non-stop. I tell her I love her. And we'll go about our day. Every day. Like right now, if I call my grandmother, just chit-chat with her, my mama, my cousins. Every time we get off the phone, it's, I love you. I don't give a damn if we just got off the phone 30 minutes ago. It's, I love you. Because tomorrow's not promised to me, you, or the next body, nothing. We don't have to wake up tomorrow. But them last words that you gonna hear me say to you is, I love you. Those was the last words. Me and her got into it. And I'm very, very stubborn. And when you make me mad, I am not talking to you for a long time. So I kind of sort of can hold a grudge. Like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of sort of hold a grudge a little bit. Knowing me, I probably said something to Latasha. She was more forgiving than I was. She was more understanding than I was. I can listen and not hear. You can talk to me and I not understand something, but I do understand it. But I'm not trying to understand you right at that particular moment, you know. And I remember me and her got into it, and my mom was there, and what she did was made me and Latasha hug. I'm mad at Tasha right now. Props to God. God is my living witness. I'm mad at Natasha. She said, T, that's not right. Like I said, I'm stubborn. And I remember my mama said, y'all hug it out. Y'all sisters. Yeah. Without Tasha is no T. Y'all sisters. We wasn't cousins. We wasn't just first cousins. Yeah. Our mothers was pregnant at the same time.
Wow.
So it was like, she said, T, give your cousin a hug. I'm like, no, she did this to me, or she said this to me. Tasha grabbed me and she hugged me. She kissed me on my cheek. She whispered in my ear, I love you.
I know that's right.
Those was the last words that she spoke to me. Yeah. And I'll never forget it. That's what we do to this day to day. Every single one. If I'm talking to my grandmother, it's going to be I love you. If I'm talking to my cousin, it's going to be I love you. We'll talk later. That's it. And I would tell her I love her tremendously. She done made it worldwide in a special way. And her message and the way she got killed is not what we expected, but God gave her wings, so I have to live with that. Right. So only thing I can do is carry on what my mama started and finish started.
Right. Man, round of applause for that. Round of applause. Rest in peace to Latasha Harlins, man. Most definitely rest in peace to her. And man, like I said again, that my biggest condolences goes to you and your family and your friends. Also to her best friend, Miss Tybee. Most definitely. I mean, man, that I know that to this day it just feels like it's yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's
It don't
always gonna feel
like
like that.
30. It don't seem like 30 years ago. 30 years is woo. It don't seem like it at all.
Yeah. Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to the man above. Without him, I wouldn't be who I am today.
That's right.
Shout out to my granny. She persevered. She sacrificed. She gave us her all to make us who we are now.
Yeah.
I don't know if my cousin peeping in, Dr. Akoff, Dr. Christina Akoff. I hope she listening. Hi, and definitely to Sophia. Thank you for bringing Natasha worldwide. She made it to India. She made it.
All over.
All over.
All over the world. I mean, man.
She made it. She definitely made it to, and Sophia did an excellent job. It took her a couple of years, and I appreciate those couple of years that she took her time, her heart, her soul, and she just wanted to make it right. Her and Janice wanted to make sure that when Latasha name came out, it was going to leave a great impact on it all. Special shout out to my husband who
been there for you through thick and thin.
Thick and thin, and my kids and just my entire family, man. We gonna get through this, and we gonna make sure we make Latasha and my mom proud. They got their wings. I'm gonna even make my auntie proud. Krista Harlins, Latasha's mom. She's resting in peace as well. So
rest in peace to Krista Harlins.
Rest in
peace to her.
I promised myself I'm gonna take it to the top nonstop. So I am my mom now.
I know that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anything you need from us, just know that we here for you and the family and everything. I mean, I'd love to do a documentary too. If that's okay with you. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to put together a nice piece and everything, give some nice drone shots and of the events and everything, of where it all happened and where it all started, because I know that if people go by there today, they will see like a different area. It's like it's the same area where it happened, but it's like the store is not there anymore because it was burnt down during the riots. Now it's a numero uno store right now.
Yeah, it's a numero uno store.
Yeah. So like if any of y'all in South Central LA go by 91st and Place and you see that numero uno, you would definitely be standing on the stepping grounds of Latasha Harlins.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because I remember all that time, I didn't even know where it happened. But when I went to numero uno one time, and I think about it now, when I seen photos of you and your family there by numero uno, this is where it happened.
Yeah.
That's the grounds of Latasha Harlins right there. You can feel her spirit in that area. Facts.
Yep. Facts.
From the looks of things, look like we're going to be taking a trip this weekend, man. I love to stop by and also like pay my respects. And whatever event you got going on, March 16th, 2021, please keep me posted on that. Keep me posted. Most definitely, because like I said, we want to commemorate her with every platform out there. Every platform.
We're gonna have t-shirts. We're gonna have it all. I want it all. So I'm gonna take it to the top. The sky is the limit for me, and the support, donations, whatever. Just
Yeah.
Hey, whatever support you can do in any kind of way, we would be greatly, greatly grateful for it. And I know that it's gonna be a good start of 2021.
Yeah.
We
Do
gonna
you not to cut you off? Do
uh,
you guys have like a cash app where people can donate to the
uh,
campaign?
yeah, they can email me at Shanice Harlins, SHINESE HARLINS @yahoo.com, and just ask if whatever they can be in need of it. I'll email them back. They can text me or call me at 657-254-9498, and I'll text more than I talk on the phone. um if they want to keep up updates on the events about what's happening, or be involved in some type of way, they time, it would be greatly appreciated, because when I say I want it big, I want it big. And if we still dealing with this COVID thing, definitely we're going to do social distancing and face mask and all that. We're going to take the proper procedures to make sure everybody is safe and sound. Um, I just want this event for us to come together again, and just no harm, no violence, none of that. This is
All
peace,
for peace,
all for peace.
peace and love.
Of Latasha Harlins and my mom Denise Harlins. So we're gonna take it to the top. I want this event to be worldwide. I want this event, and every year we're gonna do something. From May, we have a Latasha Harlins Day that the city presented us. So every May 28th is her day. So we figured we're gonna do something every year about that day as well. We're trying to figure it all out now. Like I said, if you wanna make a contribution or anything of that nature, reach out to me, Shanice Harlins @yahoo.com, or text me at 657-254-9498, and your time would be greatly appreciated. Ideas, and we're going to need volunteers for the upcoming events we have going on. We can use a hand.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I know that's right. Round of applause for that. We're gonna keep it popping, non-stopping.
That's it.
I gotta show a photo of you and Natasha when y'all were children. Definitely gotta show that right there. You know, the world needs to know. The world needs to commemorate Latasha Harlins worldwide.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, y'all. Worldwide. I had to definitely show that right there. I had to definitely just embrace this. Man, I greatly appreciate you being here on Ethic Talk Radio. And I would love to do more shows regarding the events, regarding of what's going on. And man, just keep me in the loop.
We don't need all the publicity we can have, because I want it to be big. I want it to be amazing. I want my mama to smile down. I want my heart to smile. I want Natasha to be like, that's for me. Yes, sis. All for you, boo. It's all for you.
Yeah.
But take it to the top non-stop.
That's right. Non-stop.
Did Tupac say a bottle of juice is no excuse? So
the truth hurts. Mm-hmm.
We gonna take it.
Yeah, and I remember when I was listening to those songs, I wondered if heaven got a ghetto.
Yeah.
And I remember he had a song on the Apocalypse album, and I think it was called Exodus. And he said, remember her name, Tasha Harlins.
Mm-hmm.
Remember her name. You know, and her life mattered. Her black life mattered.
Yeah.
At that time. You know what I'm saying? Well, we get that all lives matter, but what's the most important, is that black lives matter. You know what I mean?
True.
So, man, yeah. And I was listening to Tupac records the other day, and I was like, I heard her name. And now that the world can have a closure for knowing the truth, for you being here to give your narrative, you know, and I'm hoping we can get Miss Taibib on here someday too, for her to tell her story about Natasha. You know what I mean? If anybody in your family would love to come forward here on Ethic Radio, feel free to do so, you know.
Definitely.
I mean, this is the stepping grounds, and I still step on those grounds to this day. And
Come on now.
so I'm happy that we all can come together from each other's backyard. And even though we didn't know each other then, but now we do. You know what I'm saying? Because God works in mysterious ways.
Yes, indeed.
And I know we have more to come. There's more to come. It doesn't stop there. Because, like I said, I definitely, when I finish this Breonna Taylor documentary, I definitely want to get on a project and show you some things, and keep her story told, man. For real. Keep Latasha Harlin's story alive. This is like, today, this is like her resurrection 29 years later.
Yeah.
So.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Oh, yeah, y'all stay tuned. It don't stop from there. I mean,
Nope.
we got some network we need to do. And, man, and I'm willing to be at some help and keep me busy on some stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we want to do more of these here, back to back, back to back. So I'm here. So anything you like to say before we get up out of here?
I appreciate you. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for
anytime.
Her story. Thank you for, just the time, the airwaves.
Thank you.
Thank you for, wanting to share her story. It's a powerful story. Just lets people know that your life, it means much to us, but to the next person, it don't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing.
Right.
So we have to take prideship of our life.
Right.
What it means to us. We have to know what it means to, have our brothers back, no matter what.
Exactly.
And
it's a lot of BS out there, but continue
it's
on.
A whole lot. It's a whole lot. And people is all for themselves. If people stop being about themselves, maybe we will have more.
Facts.
Maybe I'm a own numero uno or whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah.
So I can speak that into existence. I can say that's gonna be a community center in the future. If I get the money, that's definitely what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a safe place for kids.
Exactly.
So if I can change my community, I definitely will.
Girl, amen to that. Amen to that.
I ain't leaving my community. I don't care if I live in another city. I don't care. Yeah. That's where I grew up. That's where I learned how to fight. That's where I learned how to talk smack. That's where I learned my roots at. That's where all my childhood friends are from. So, hell, I'm going to take it back to the community. I'm going to give back. I'm not leaving us behind. We going forward.
That's right.
I'm going to the top. And if you're ready to groove with me, you're going to take it to the tops too.
Exactly. And as long as, people go about it the right way with good intentions, with all BS to the side, and hold up to your word. And if and you may not want much from people, maybe just 75%, but I know it'd be a beautiful thing if a person comes in and put 110% of loyalty and honor and respect, you know what I'm saying, during this journey, during this movement. You see what I'm saying? Because right now, this is a movement. And this is a legacy. This is like a legacy for the memory of Latasha Harlins.
Come on now.
Facts.
Most people looking at saying, I don't have that many people that have my back.
Right.
But if that person, give me 1 second.
No, that's all right.
If that person died, guess what? He gonna have 6 to 8 pallbearers about to bury his casket, but he ain't got them pallbearers that got his back.
Right.
So come on, we gotta stand tight. We losing hundreds of us a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like in what's that? Ethiopia. Let's end SARS. Let's
mm-hmm.
Come on now. There's too much going on in the world for all what it's just too much going on in the world.
We need to stop living in the 1960s because it's like it has to stop. I mean, like there's got to be some type of
balance. We have to balance it out.
Right. Facts.
A pleasure talking with you.
It's a pleasure talking to you too.
It's not the last conversation. Remember, Go vote November the 3rd.
Yeah, y'all go vote.
Y'all go vote. Cast your vote November the 3rd. I don't care who you vote for, just vote.
Vote for the right reasons.
Yeah. Use your vote. Make your voice count.
Exactly. Because it ain't over. We still have long ways to go, y'all, in this culture. Long ways to go.
Yep.
So y'all better go out there and put your ballot in and go vote.
Yep.
You know? So, well, my friend, you take good care of yourself.
Likewise.
And just know I'm there for you. You know, I
Thank
got your back all the way.
thank you so
And
much.
anytime. And I greatly appreciate this opportunity again. And like I said again, it don't stop from there. I'm a phone call away. Much love to everybody in the chat.
Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you for listening. Tune in because we're not done yet. It's just the beginning.
Okay, I wrote this piece for my best friend, Latasha Harlins. It's called Whatever. Now I'm about to paint a picture vivid. So here's your plate. Pull up a chair and you gonna take it how I give it. Because this is my life. I'm the only one that has to live it. This piercing pain that follows me is now a permanent part of me. Latasha, when you close your eyes, it's like my childhood innocence disappeared. But I guess it's whatever. All I can remember from 1991 is how a chick murdered my best friend with a gun. My city was livid. People were looting and burning down buildings. Here I am 25 years later and it's like I lost my best friend and my grand prize was a front row seat as an adult. And Latasha, it's happening again. And this time I'm seeing it on CNN. Trayvon Martin, Noel Aguilar, Michael Brown, Oscar Ramirez Jr., and I can't forget about the babies. Jared and Meredith, just to name a few. Just to see these lives lost because of a gun, I now know that your death was the spark of a virus. 25 years of growing pains and watching this virus manifest into a contagion that mimics a girl with loose legs that spread. It's like Lady Liberty went out and started turning tricks while Mrs. Justice is dropping it like it's hot and getting a fix. A new nation has been bred. They burned down churches of worship because they live for the gunplay. And lead is the new Yahweh. All because this country that we live in has permitted the murdering of our children. How can there be peace when the system showed me 25 years ago that it's broke? Is this a joke? Or did the American dream drop the soap and started taking it the hard way? We've boycotted, yelled, screamed for someone to hear us. And now the street's voice is getting louder. Like Jacasso said, and remember my name. I hear the youth's hearts calling and my people. Now don't get it twisted. When I say my people, I mean the human race. Continue to collect the check and turn the cheek. But I guess it's whatever. You don't have to take my word for it. I'm just a 15-year-old that grew up. Rest in peace.